Hey everyone, George here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about how I quit weed and why. I've been a heavy smoker for the past 3 years and I got high pretty much every day. So let's start with the why I quit weed. And the reason why I quit weed is because at one point I started to realize that every activity, every daily task that I had throughout every day involved weed in some kind of way. So, as an example, I would go wakeboarding, and before I'd go wakeboarding, I'd tell my friends, "Hey, listen, we need to get some weed." And my friends at the time, it was a circle and of people who smoked, and would be like, "Yeah, yeah, sure." So we before we go wakeboarding, we'd go to the dealer, we get some weed, and we'd roll up and we smoke before we went wakeboarding, and then when we were wakeboarding, we were smoking as well. And uh, you know, any other task, I'd go for a walk, I'd bring a joint, I'd smoke, I would whatever I was doing, even working at at some point, I was like, yeah, I was making all these beliefs in my head that weed helped me work, weed helped me enjoy walks better, or weed helped me concentrate while I'm wakeboarding, or whatever I was doing. I was making up these beliefs in my head about that everything is better when I'm high. So that was what I came to, and really through self-analysis and observing myself, I started to learn about my emotions and what beliefs I attached to weed. And you know, only through this self-analysis, I could realize what are these emotions that I'm attaching to weed. So, and then I also spoke to one of my good friends, and I told him about this, that I want to quit, but it's always there. And he told me that I should think about it rather, like, do I really enjoy weed? And when I started to think about it, like, I I was, if I would be really honest with myself, it wasn't really the actual smoking, like the actual being high, that I enjoyed, which I was thinking at the time it was. I was like, yeah, I enjoy being high. It's such a nice feeling. Like, everything is so much better on it. But rather, it was everything around it, and my thought about it. So I thought that people who smoked, they're much different from people who drink. They're much more calm, relaxed, and yeah, and everything, like from the grinding part, from the rolling part, and I was the center of attention at every party, because where I live here in St. Petersburg, it's not public, it's not open, people are very quiet about it. And I wasn't so cool, like I wasn't so discreet about it. I was very cool about it. I was kind of like making my voice with it. So I attached, those feelings to my identity. So my identity at one point, it is like it built over time, but my identity came to the point where I was associated with weed. If George came to a party, or George went somewhere, people knew that I had weed with me, and yeah, basically my identity started to associate with weed, and I liked it at the time. I was like, yeah, that's cool, that's who I am, blah blah blah. I started to believe that, but looking back at it now, I understand how big of a of a potential threat that is to the way I want to live my life now. So, uh, yeah, these are all the things that I realized over time. I wasn't thinking that way when at the time I was smoking. I had all these beliefs. So, um, what really helped me, with the self analysis and with the of observing my emotions that I was attaching to weed, or I had towards weed, was having a diary. And I'd write in my diary every morning or before I went to bed and everything. And I mean, I have tons of them. I have so many of my diaries where I write down if I'm feeling frustrated or annoyed or angry or whatever. I'd write down, and I'd ask myself questions why I'm feeling this or that. And same applied to weed. I'd try to quit it for, I would be successful for a week or so. I wouldn't smoke. I'd go cold turkey. But then, the weekend came or something, or I met a friend, and they'd be like, hey, you want to take a puff? I'm like, sure, I quit, but ha ha ha. And and then it rolled back, into that bad habit. And but it was fun at the time. I was with my friends, but then when I came home, this environment, the home environment, reminded me that I wanted to quit, and I started to feel bad about myself, and I was frustrated and annoyed with myself because I gave myself the promise of quitting it, and I couldn't do it again. I went back to my old habits, and everything is back to the same thing. I'm back to day one, basically. And I'd write it all down, I'll be like, George, like I would literally like talk to myself through notes. I'd be like, George, like, you are weak, you can't keep your promise, and like, you promised yourself you're not gonna smoke for a week, or I mean, you promised you wouldn't be smoking again, but then now you're high again. And I'd be frustrated, and I'd go with these like thoughts to bed, and the next day I wake up and everything is back to normal, and the first thing I think when I wake up is like, oh yeah, today's a good day, and why not smoke? And then some friends are calling me over to their summer house or whatever, and new day, new life, just goes on, and you find yourself that evening smoking and enjoying life. So everything is fine, back to normal, as I thought at the time. And then one day, I was leaving. So this is a little story that I want to tell you. I was leaving on a vacation with my girlfriend, and for like a month. And before I left, I decided to have some people over at my house. We bought some alcohol. Of course, we had some weed, and it was a good time. Everyone's drinking and smoking and all of that, and it's fun. And I'm faded, and then I thought I felt good at the time, but I felt horrible. It's like your head is spinning around and everything. So I thought I enjoyed that, but I actually didn't, as I understand now. But at the time, I thought I did. So, we're drinking, smoking, and we're drinking a lot and smoking heavy and everything. Music is playing. So, it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I have to get up early because my train is leaving and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. So people leave, and I clean up as much as I can. I go to bed. I wake up to an alarm. My head is like hurts like crazy. Like I begin to pack my stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, like what am I doing with my life? And what really helped me quit weed was I had a drawer by my bed, where I kept all my stuff. I had my grinders, papers, lighters, whatever, all their filters. And, I was kind of packing everything, and then I take this plastic bag. I don't know why. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to throw everything out of that drawer. I'm going to make it clean, empty. I just take everything, I put it in the trash, and I put it out. I throw it away. And, so I have nothing. I kind of felt like, but what if I come back and I want to smoke? I have to buy a grinder again, or I have to buy this. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to throw it all away. So I throw it all away. And then, me and my girlfriend, we meet up, we're going to the holiday, and, she looks at me, she's like, oh, you look horrible. Like, what's up with you? Your eyes are red, your face is swollen, and you're kind of like mumbling like this. I'm like, yeah, we had a heavy night. Some friends came over. We're drinking, smoking. And she's like, oh, okay, haha. And I'm like, you know what? I told her, I'm going to quit weed. Like, this was the last time I quit weed. And, I said that before, and she knew it. And she was like, yeah, right. Say it on the camera. Here, let me pull out. So she pulls out her phone. She starts recording a video, and she's like, say it. And I look at the camera, and I'm like, today, I say the date, and today is the last day that I have ever smoked weed. And I still have that video. Maybe I'll post it and put a link somewhere in this video to it. If you're interested, just drop a comment. I can attach that video somewhere, or maybe I'll edit this video and put it here. But so yeah, and she recorded that video, and she's like, all right, let's see. Good luck. So I go on a vacation. On the vacation, it was a month. I didn't smoke. I could easily find and stuff, but I was like, no, on this vacation, this is my like reset button. I'm not gonna do it. So I went like a month without smoking, and swear to God, that month was tough. And it was a beautiful month. You know, we were spending time in Greece, we were relaxing and all. But you know, my thoughts still came back to the time I smoked all the time. And I was like, oh man, but this would be so much better high, but this would be so much better if we had a weed. And the real test came when we come back. You know, it was a month, and when we came back, and and at the vacation, I bought this book. It's by Tony Robbins. It's called Awaken the Giant Within. People have mixed thoughts about Tony Robbins. I admire the person. I think he's great. And I was reading his book, and that book made a huge impact on me. It made a huge impact. Everything that I read there, I related back to my smoking habit. I related back, and you know, I made notes and I self-studied, and you know, this and that and blah 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 blah, and like all these different techniques he was teaching in the book, I applied to my bad habit, and I think that helped me tremendously. So I come back from the holiday, and since then I haven't been smoking. You know, it's 8 months now. It's been 8 months now. I quit August 3rd. I know. August 3rd was my last time I smoked weed, 2018. So now it's soon is going to be 2019. August is going to be soon a year. So that's how it's been. So that's really why I quit weed. You know, the main point is because I caught myself that everything I did in life, I was either high, or you know, I had weed with me or whatever. So and I didn't like that. I wanted to be able to have this freedom. Like I thought I was a free person, but really I had this thing that was controlling me. So I was like, okay, you know what? If I truly want to be free, then I have to get rid of this bad habit, because I want to be able to do things in life without having weed or being high. So that was my really big why. And the second big why was that I was fed up. You know, I was fed up with this whole thing. So now, as I promised, I'm gonna give you 5 tips and 6th tip as a bonus, if I can remember it. So the first tip is having a diary. If you have a diary and you write down your emotions and your thoughts that you have about it, this will help you to keep track of your progress and really like understand yourself better. It'll give you quiet time, and you can really have deep thought about what's happening in your life. And it doesn't only involve weed, but you know, other areas. But particularly if you're trying to quit weed, I recommend, you know, starting a diary and just putting down your thoughts, your emotions daily, and you know, maybe setting some goals for yourself. The second thing is self-analysis. So that kind of relates back to having a diary. So you know, you got to really analyze yourself and what you're feeling towards certain things, and you know, in this case, what you're feeling towards weed, and you know, what beliefs you attach to it, and that's what's really self-analysis is. You learn yourself, as the old saying goes, know thyself. Know thyself. And so the third point is the book I mentioned, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins, a profound book, which really helped me get all these different techniques on myself, which helped me with my beliefs and everything. The fourth one is the video I talked about, so promising my loved one and making a public statement or a public promise. And this helps you stay accountable, not only to yourself, because you know yourself, you can lie, you can cheat on yourself, but it's when you do it to someone else, they're gonna be like, so you promised again, and you know, you couldn't keep your promise. So you know, if you have a loved one or maybe even your family or something, just make it public and say, hey, listen, today I quit weed, and they're gonna be like, all right, sure, let's see. And the fifth one might sound cliche, but you really, like, this is the most fundamental thing. You gotta have a burning desire. If you're just wondering, or if you just like, if you would just like to quit, liking to quit is not that you want to quit it. And it's not only that you want to quit, you need to have a burning desire. And my burning desire was I wanted to free myself from this bad habit, from this intoxin, as I call it now. So if you have a burning desire, you will quit. But if you don't, if you're just saying to yourself that you would like to quit, or it would be a good thing if you could quit, then I don't know. But if you have a burning desire and you're focusing on that and you really, really want to do it, then you will do it. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, if you liked it, drop a like, hit a like button, drop me a like. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section. And also, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I will be releasing videos like this later on. So thank you so much, and till next time.